Hello, welcome to this Panasonic TV show. My name is Jaume Miró. I am broadcasting from Barcelona, and to my right, I have Thierry Gonzalo from Brainstorm. Hi, Thierry.
Hello. Hi,
How are
Jaume. How you
you?
doing? Nice to see you again. Nice to
How's the
see you.
weather?
Well, the
How's the weather
weather,
in
let
Valencia?
me check, is a little bit cloudy, maybe not raining yet, but yes, a little bit cloudy. Not bad, not bad.
Thank you for joining us in this
Thank you.
show. I think it's more than a webinar. I think I am very happy to present you this program. I think we have very interesting things to show today, uh, based on the collaboration of Panasonic and Brainstorm over the last year. As you may know, we have the first PTZ that supports tracking data is the UE150, and to do that, we Panasonic at our factory, we had the great support of Brainstorm to develop such functionality to make this PTZ camera compatible with AR, VR systems like InfinitySet from Brainstorm. But the collaboration is not only on the camera. The collaboration has been continued, and today you will see how this integration now it's also on the controller on the RP150. So you will see how simplified the operation has become, because now from this panel we are able to control both walls, the real one and the virtual one. But I don't want to anticipate too much, and I also want you to see that in live, not me saying that. So, Terry, I would like you first to talk a bit about Brainstorm for those that are joining this show and maybe are not so familiar with your company, with the projects you do, or with the systems you have.
Thank you. Okay, as you can see in the interface, I'm changing the slides and playing some buttons here in the interface. So I will try to do both things at a time. So I'm going to select now this cross point here. Okay, as you can see, we can have in this interface, this is InfinitySet, we can have several different cross points like these we have over here. But before introducing the product itself, let me show you some of the a little bit of background of the company. Now, as you can see here, we've been since 1993 working in the market. We've been dedicated to real-time 3D graphics, virtual sets, and augmented reality. And we've been doing broadcast, feature film productions, and corporate presentations, just like this one might be. We also have over 2,500 installations worldwide. Now, as you can see, we can also have global presence all over the world. We have some resellers, lots of resellers in the United States, South America, Europe, Southeast Asia, and Japan, which is probably one of the biggest markets in the world, the same as USA. Now, other than that, we have lots of awards winning. And also we have lots of different companies we've been working for. So like BBC, CBS, EBS, Telecinco, many, many, many more, as you can see, this just to name a few. Now we can also see that we have a web page that you can connect us. This would be brainstorm3d.com. This is the contact. Please contact us to contact@brainstorm3d.com. And oops, okay, and I want to go to the other one. Let me please, okay, I'm playing with it. And here we can see that this is the range of products that we have. InfinitySet is this product you see in here. Anything that has to do with augmented reality, virtual reality. Aston is our CG and data-driven graphics. eStudio is our core engine, is the core underneath that can drive all these two items here, these two interfaces. Neuron, our approach to newsroom control systems, and many more. Aston Elections is a product we have, a bespoke, easy to use product for elections and on demand. our control device. Now, this is just briefly a small background of what we're doing in here. Jaume.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. So also last week we had a couple of announcements at our NAB virtual event in Panasonic, and two of these announcements are directly connected to Brainstorm, and I would like to mention that today. The first one is a new PTZ, the UE100, that it's also supporting tracking data, same as the UE150 that it's our main topic today. So everything we say today for the UE150 will be valid as for the new UE100 that will be in the market from September onwards, giving more options for our customers to decide which camera is the best for their projects. Okay, so but more options, UE150, and from September the UE100. So, but this tracking functionality, we keep it in, and as you see, we added in the new PTZ that we are launching to the market. And also, we announced the Kairos. The Kairos is a live video production platform, which is based on purely IT architecture. It gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of composition, inputs and outputs, formats, and resolutions. It's a new concept of producing. It's more than a switcher, really. And I'm glad to say that Brainstorm is also one of the partners of Kairos in the graphics side. So things that you are going to see today in the controller, for example, functions that this integration between the controller and InfinitySet, you can expect also that part in Kairos in future as well once this system is ready. So, Chori, tell me a bit more about what you have there in your home studio right now.
Okay. Yes, I would like to show you a few things. Oh, well, as you can see here, I have a few elements. I have one UE150 right over there. The one I'm not looking at, I should be looking there now. But okay, that's a UE150 right in front of me, a tracking device. I also have one RP150, which is the control panel for anything for all the cameras. We will see how from here I'm going to be controlling not just my not just my real camera, but also my virtual camera in here. And I have here one tiny little camera here with my Meccano. I did it with my son. He's there right now. There, I did it together with him. A Meccano. I didn't find any stand for the webcam here. So okay, I hope you enjoy it there. Now, so and this is it, and everything is happening in my computer here. This computer here is connected to a couple of Thunderbolt cables in here, and everything is done inside. So Jaume is at home. We have a Skype connection. It's NDI'd. This Skype connection is NDI'd within Skype, and then we receive it internally in the Infinity as a source, as a video source. And this is it, basically, Jaume.
So now you are able to control your UE150 that you have. Quite expensive webcam, I think, but good for you. You have excellent quality, and so you are able to control that camera, of course, and the virtual studio that we are both sitting in, right?
Correct. You're absolutely right. Yes, you're right. Okay, so let me show you how this is working. Okay, I'm going to go to this cross point. Cross points are different, just like in a mixer, different renders, different things happening, different cameras. So I'm going to swap to this camera here. There we go. This camera right now is showing me the UE150. That's the shot from the UE150, and it's framing my entire scene here. So I'm going to go to Mixer so we can see a few more things. Okay. Now, here, as in any mixer, we can see several items. We see the mix itself with program and preview bus. And we also see program and preview. So I'm going to be playing with program and preview so you can see what I'm doing right now. And I will present you, first of all, the different items I have available here. This one here is the camera, the raw data from the camera. Here is Jaume at home. I'm not going to show you right now, Jaume. And, and we can see that in here, we have as well some playlists, and we can assign different buttons and different functions to them. So like these items here in the playlist. So, and here, and the last one here, we have the panel. You can see that this little panel here, this, when I put in my camera, has all the buttons. And I will try to show you within the new functionalities that we have. Now, the first thing we need is to control the camera itself. So I'm going to go to my camera. Okay, I'm selecting now my real camera. I'm selecting the presets for my real camera. Those are the presets. And I'm going to just press button 2 and 3. Now, showing you this is the real camera and this is the final render, showing you how when I press preset number 2, both are moving together. Well, you can see that there's a slight difference here. Obviously, you're not seeing my home right now. Okay, you're seeing the camera itself and a chroma key removing all the undesired elements, but the shot is fixed. It comes from that camera over there and it's giving me this shot, this big shot right now. But obviously, you can imagine that I have such a big green screen in here. We are masking the elements. We're removing, with the 3D map, we call it, all the undesired elements. Now, if I do go back here, you might say that, okay, it's a PTZ camera and it's a real good PTZ camera and it can do close-up shots, maybe like this one. I'm pressing now button number 3. So one of the good things that you have with PTZ cameras is that you can do close-up shots. And this is the optics of the camera. It's not the detail zoom. The quality is there. And you can have real good close-up shots or go anywhere. I mean, if I now move my camera in here, if I move the joystick, you can see that I can frame my shot and correct it if I need to, okay, while I'm moving this in here, okay? So this is also valid for me to play live with the camera, okay?
So you can do this because the camera has tracking, right? So you are using the UE150, which supports a 3D. But could you do this with a fixed PTZ or a camera that is not providing tracking data?
That's a good question, just like yours. And you can see that in your camera, I'm controlling different parameters. You can see that I'm moving your camera right now, okay? You can see that and it can change in there. And of course, you don't have any tracking device there. You have a webcam there, okay?
Yeah.
So let me show you with my camera and in different configuration. This configuration here is directly this one here. Let me show you. I'm going to select this one here and I'm going to select this first diagram. We have the RP150 that is controlling not directly the UE150, sorry. It's controlling us. And we are receiving the pan-tilt zoom data for the real camera. We will just pick it up and forward it towards the UE150, and then video tracking data will be sent to Infinity. We will make the final composition just like we're doing here, and then the output goes into any mixer. Okay, that would be the basic workflow for track devices. Okay, and this is this crosspoint here that I have right now. But there are also other crosspoint, other workflows, just like you mentioned. What if I don't have tracking? So I'm going to select this other, sorry, not this one, this one. These other workflow in here. There is no tracking device, therefore we only send in HBR, XYZ, and PDZ parameters. That is the virtual camera. There's no need to send the tracking data to the camera. It's only sending the video from the camera, and we will do the composition here. So if I select and have a look at the image, I'm right now in a track device and I'm now in the non-track device. Imagine that my UE150 has no tracking right now. Imagine that is an UE4 over there or any webcam in there, or U100, but in a fixed position. Now, I will put my camera there. Okay, so we can see that the camera is in the fixed position and I'm just chroma keying that. And what if I go now to my presets, okay? And I choose to have a different preset, like maybe this one here. I can select my camera 1 in my panel and press preset number 2. Oh, we're having the same thing. We are controlling the exact same workflow in there. Number 6, and we want to select maybe, I don't know, this diagram over there, or whatever diagram. Now, the difference here is that this is fixed, and this is what we call a projection from the camera position. We don't need tracking to do this. I can recall back to the presets I had, and it's going to work perfectly well. So no difference at the moment. The big difference is going to be if we want to have a zoom. If we want to go to my panel, and now have a look at this webcam here, I'm going to select System in the panel, and I have in System, you can see that we have the connections. There's a new LAN BR mode that is in order to control virtual cameras through the LAN, and manual IP that we will connect. So it's my IP, my laptop IP to connect to the system. And there's also one more menu that is over here, the BI control, where we select that whenever I press button 1 in here, we'll select camera 1, this one. But if I select cross one number 3, Jaume, I'm going to you. There we go. I'm changing the camera directly. Hi, Jaume again. You're
Hello,
so
I'm back.
far away. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. I'm pressing now button 1 in my panel, and you can see that I'm controlling. This is one way to configure the system. One way to configure several cameras, one single output, one program. Okay, and you're selecting what you want out. Now, as I said, there's another button here, which is this one here. This one will help me to have the real PT set that is controlling directly U150, but I don't want this right now. And as a matter of fact, even if I try to select it, it will not let me because it's pre-configured. This crosspoint does not allow controlling the real PT set. That's the configuration. So the operator cannot make the mistake. Now, it's B virtual camera HBR or virtual camera PT set. So if I select the PT set mode like this, I can take the camera, panning, tilting, zooming, and controlling everything about me. Okay? And I'm moving the
So,
virtual camera.
so it means that from the same console, from the same joystick, in that case, the RP150, so you can control both the real cameras, as many, let's say, UE150s as you have, but also in another button, you are controlling the virtual. You are controlling, in this case, the InfinitySet
Correct.
from Brainstorm, right?
Correct. That's right. That's right. But okay, I would like to clarify one really big thing about this configuration. Okay, it's good as long as you have the shot. But what happens if I try to do a close-up shot, just like the one we did before? Okay, you can see that I'm doing a digital zoom, so the quality obviously is not going to be that good. Okay, so if you want to have high quality zoom and details, you need a PT set, you need a tracking device. If you're happy with this shot, you don't want any more than that. Your talent is not going to be walking or moving back and forth. That's not a big deal. You can do it directly from here. Okay, so that's very important. When should we buy a tracking device? When should we buy one webcam? Okay, so that's good. But we can control them both. Now, as a matter of fact, I want to show you how this is working internally. I want to go to edit mode, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, it's on its way there. And you there, Jaume, and I want to select my camera right now. Okay, so right now, I have a couple of objects in the 3D scene. That's my UE150. I have a 3D object in the space. So I'm going to expose it. And this is the shot right in the exact position of the UE150. I'm just matching the position of one camera and on the other. But what if I take my virtual camera back? I'm taking it back, and I'm seeing through that camera. Right now, what we have is a PDZ head, the UE150, which is exactly in that position. Right now, this camera is about 2 meters away from me and 122 height. So that's the exact position of that camera, and it's seeing me. See how if I do this trick, you can see how I'm flat over there. I'm just a flat surface in there. Let me show you a little bit more how this works. If I go to this camera, okay, we can see that this camera is doing a projection from this point, and it's projecting my image. It's doing something like this. You see? It's projecting
Mhm.
my image, and then I'm going to rotate around and see how this image is going to be then sent in order to match that position in the space. We can choose how far or how close we want to put it, and this will allow me to project that image in that part of the set. So because we're doing this projection, we have no problem. That is a projection in 3D space, and we can move freely, as you can see right now on my camera. So I'm going to go back to my preset position. I remove my UE150, and let's say I want to go to, for example, something like selecting an object. So Jaume, how would you select an object in the 3D space? I mean, if you want to shoot at something, or you want to trigger something. Okay, imagine that I want to see. You see that 3D object that you have behind you, the vision
The
mixer,
Kairos,
the
yeah.
Kairos, correct. So let me aim at that object in there. Okay, let me select it. So I'm going to go to my shot in here, and I want to move my camera. This time I might want to go back to the mixer so we can see everything. Okay, and I'm going to select my panel here. Okay, so I want to select, this time is my camera number one, and camera number one, virtual camera PDZ. I'm going to take the camera all the way to the right. I have removed Jaume on purpose in this shot, and I want to take this shot to that panel over there. Okay, and this is when we have the button, the aim button here. I select this aim button. I say yes to that, and there's a cross on the screen. Okay, I want to frame it so that the cross is the center of my object. I am aiming at that object and creating a new point of interest for my virtual HBR mode. Now in here, just like you saw before, I can now go towards and around objects. You can see that I can float around that object.
So
Okay,
this is your new point of interest, right? And you can select or adjust directly from the controller, right? You don't need
correct,
the interface for that. If you want to operate from the panel, you
correct.
can do
And
that,
that is
right?
what I'm doing right now. I'm moving with the camera. Let me go back to this cross point here, and you can see me moving the crane in here. Okay, it's like I'm moving forward
Mhm.
and rotating around. This is very, very nice how to control this element in here.
So you use the joystick on the panel to adjust the virtual movement, right?
Correct. Oops, I think I went way too far with the camera. There you are. Yes, that's it. Correct. That's how we do it.
So then I have a question then. If I see that you can do a lot of things from the controller, from the RP150. So how do you think now it's the operation? Is can be done almost or in a great part from the controller itself, or do you still need the graphical
I'm, I'm,
interface to
I'm
operate?
doing it. I'm doing everything from within the panel. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
showing you here the bits and pieces of what we're doing because now we have the thumbnails. We will have the panel, and we're developing a web control that will be like a tablet right in here, touch screen device that will expose these thumbnails here. So whenever you select crosspoint one, camera two, it will expose those thumbnails, something like this. So imagine that having one more panel like this, where you have this interface, but with all the previews, all the thumbnails in there available. That would be my other panel in here. Okay, that would be like touch screen device in front of us.
So this way the depuration is can be fully concentrated on the RP150, right? And with this additional touch screen, but you can forget a bit about the interface, right? So you can really concentrate on the joystick and doing the executing the movements and the presets from there
You're
all the
right.
time.
Correct. Correct. There you go. Now I'm going to play this one and send it back to you. Okay. Yes, and this is it. This is it. I mean, we have other workflows as well. I mean, not just we've seen a couple of them. So let me take this. Okay, let me put myself in here, and on the other side, let me put some other diagrams like these we have in here. And okay, and let's see if we can select other workflows. So imagine that we have this workflow, the one I'm using right now, is this here. The RP is controlling several cameras. That would be you. It doesn't have to be necessarily U150, it could be any camera. But if it is a UE150, UE100, UE4, whatever, you could have independent cameras going into the same system with one single output, my program output, just like you've seen in here. Okay, so this would be this exact workflow we're working on. But what if, instead of having that, we have these other workflows? We've seen that we can render two independent contents at a time. Now I'm rendering you and myself in the same engine. But instead of having a program and preview, what if we put both outputs and send it to the video board or send it to NDI or whatever other means? Therefore, we can have two independents. We will no longer need the mixer because it's independent outputs and we can control them from the same panel, just like we saw before. Therefore, we can control everything from here as independent sources going into sorry, not this one, into independent inputs in the mixer with 40 render. And yes, the question is, okay, I know how many outputs can you have? Right. We can see that I have a laptop right now. It's a high-end laptop, it's a high-end computer, and I'm rendering like twice the same scene. Okay, and my performance is not that bad. I mean, with this kind of set, we could have, depending on the graphic contents we have, and depending on the different elements you want to have, if we have Unreal Engine or not, and many, many other features. It's just a hardware issue. You might have 3 outputs at a time, even 4 outputs at a time, but okay, don't expect to have very amazing graphics behind. Okay? So it's just how you want to combine them, how you want to have them in the same system. But a regular set with not too many reflections and not too many fancy things in it, yes, why not? 3 renders. I would say that this diagram that we have in here is perfectly valid. Having 3 UE150s connected to a Z4 or Z6, and then 3 independent outputs. Why not? This is perfectly valid, and we've tested and it's working.
So it's realistic to think in one workstation, let's say, to work with multiple cameras, 3, 4 cameras maybe, and delivering the even different outputs if we have an external switcher as you have in the diagram. So it's realistic to do that in one system, right?
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And this is it. I mean, it could be rendering third. I mean, configuration is different, as I said, but it will work. It does work, and we've done testing with it, and it really works. And this would be the way to control them. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously,
So
if this is not enough, if you don't have, if you want to have really amazing graphics and real graphics behind, but really powerful graphics, then you will need to go to these other diagram where we have independent renders per camera. One camera, one render, and all of them going into the system. And you can combine that. Maybe you want to have one camera that is going to do the beauty shots and it's going to fly all around. Maybe you want a full render on that, but maybe you want to have close-up shots in the other cameras. Maybe in one camera, you can have 2 close-up shots and one dedicated just to the beauty shots and all the flights and so on. I mean, configuration can get really, really complex altogether with many configurations. So it's not just this diagram. We can have lots of different things happening.
Yeah. So we can go from, maybe today we are in almost the most basic configuration. So for example, I'm having a UE4, which is a fixed camera with possibility of pan and scan, but with no tracking data. But it's a good camera. I mean, I think you receive a good quality to do the keyer. So this is one example that I don't have a tracking camera. So of course you cannot do many things with me, but it works. I mean, the quality, I think is quite good. And then, for example, you have a PTZ, so you can have some movements on your side. But yeah, at the same time, you are working with a notebook computer, so that could be a kind of basic configuration, and from here we can grow, as you explained, with bigger systems or independent renders per camera if the composition needs to be so complex, right?
Correct, correct. You're absolutely right. Okay, and as you can see, we can play with any camera. I mean, I have this shot in 3 different cameras at the time. So your imagination here is the limit. You can play and you can configure your system and have really, really nice system. And as you can see, we are far away. I mean, it's 350 kilometers from Valencia, my hometown, Barcelona, over there. And yes, we can make this possible, and you can see very easily.
Speaking of that, do you want me to show your house? I can show you mine.
Okay, okay. So you want to show the trick? Okay, you want to show what is happening
Let's show
underneath?
the trick.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to edit mode. Okay. Now, okay. There we go. Swapping now to mixer mode. Let me put back my camera to reset and let me show you. Well, as you can see, this is the scene we were dealing with. We have an enforcing now. Okay, don't do that live. Don't do that live. Okay, you can see that this is what you're going to be seeing if you move aside. That this works whenever you are in the right centered position and so on. If you play and you have a nice preset, just like those we saw there, it really works quite nicely. But okay, what is behind those two? Why do we call these fellows here cross points instead of calling them inputs? Because an input for us is an entirely different thing. For us, an input can be like this input here is my camera. Now this is UE150 connected here, and this is the NDI source coming from Jaume. So I'm going to select now directly my camera here. Okay, I will go to the input, and I want to remove my chroma key so you don't see it. There we go. Oh, there we are. That's a green screen right in there. And what if I call now my preset number 2? Okay, remember there was a bigger space, no longer bigger space. I mean, this is it. This is my home. I'm at home right now. I have 2 lights in there, and I have my computer right in front of me, and a green carpet and a green background behind. I mean, 150 euros, something like that. Cheap stuff. I mean, those lights in there, they're not very expensive. And the Meccano, okay, there we go. So this is it. And you can see I'm at home. I'm doing this right now from my home office, and I'm recording my UE150 that's right there triggered in this shot. We saw this before running. And Jaume, now is your turn. I'm going to go to you, okay?
Okay.
So this is your camera, okay? And there's no tracking, but I can go to your camera here and say that I won't see anymore your chroma key here. And there we are. That's Jaume. That's
Yeah.
Jaume at
Welcome.
home.
Welcome to
And,
my house.
and as you can see, is an Skype NDI source coming into the system. Okay, I bring them back to internal, my to internal as well, and we go back to default, and there we are. That's me again in the same virtual set. And that is us again with a nice shot showing our scenario.
So then it means that, as you mentioned, so we are, I mean, I am connected via Skype, but thanks to the new, let's say, kind of plugin for Skype, so you are receiving that signal and converting into NDI. So for
Correct.
you, for InfinitySet is NDI, right? So you are accepting this NDI workflow.
Correct.
Right?
Right now, as you can see, this is a Skype. Now there's a new option within Skype that can send NDI sources. And as simple as that, I connect to you directly and I'm receiving your image as one other source. As simple as that, nothing else than that.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, and I think we've seen more or less everything that we want to show you. Are there any questions? Is anyone interested to know how we're doing something or?
There is a difficult question.
Okay, okay.
No, I mean, I'm not sure if you can answer to that. If it's how it's a comparison with VisRT, so this kind of competitors, Octopus. I'm not sure if it's something that you can answer, or if not, I can talk about the
No, it's okay, it's okay,
integration.
it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
I can answer that. I can answer that very well. Okay, right. As you've seen, we have tracking devices, just like those we've seen there, and that would be a regular PD set, but we are integrated with almost all of the tracking system in the market. I mean, we can use TrackMan or anyone, I mean, just name it, and Stibe or whatever, all of them are supported by us. And we have a beautiful integration, easy to manipulate, and so on. So yes, BSRT is our competitor. Yes, and we believe that we have a better solution that they have right now. Our interface is easy to use. We have a better integration in many ways, and the possibilities we have. I mean, please try to do this with BSRT. And the things we do, yeah, why not? I would say that we're really good doing what we do.
I think, yeah, I think one of the things that I think it's part of this demonstration today is, and I think at this moment it's quite unique, is how the operation is simplified, because I think that traditionally there were at least two different operators, one in charge of the robotics or the cameras, and one in charge of the graphics. So in every control room, usually there were different people doing these two jobs. I think now we are showing that maybe one person can manipulate both things, because the controller is the same. You can, as we see, we can play a lot with the presets, so we can trigger the movements. At the same time, we can move the real camera if needed. So I think this operation is simplified a lot, and it goes into this one person operation that nowadays is more and more required. So I think that's at this moment that's the unique function of that, this integration between our controller and the 3D engine. So basically to use our joystick to control both worlds, the real one and the virtual one. So I guess that it's quite easy for one person to run both applications, let's say, at the same time. Is really
Yes,
an integration. That's the
yes.
word of integration, right?
You're right, you're right. And as a matter of fact, I am playing the set right now. Although I'm the presenter, I'm also playing, and you can see me
Yes.
playing the buttons, driving myself a little mad from time to time because I'm not used to talking, not playing, but not talking at the same time. So, but yeah, you can see that I've been playing with the buttons in here, playing with the playlist down here. These are the different contents going to different monitors, and playing with the cross points, assigning different contents in the mixer. It's simplified. You have nice thumbnails for every item in there. So yes, I think it's easy to control
Yeah.
from here. And with the new web control, that is going to change a lot. It will
Because also
improve even better.
you are also controlling the streaming, or you are executing also the streaming. So you are doing a lot of things
That's,
today.
I'm doing
Probably
everything. I'm doing everything. Yes,
should not be the.
right here. That's the OBS, and you can see I'm streaming now and using OBS, as you can see. Yes, I'm doing everything within my computer. So yes, we can
Yeah.
do lots of things with one single engine right now. And how about the reflections? You see that? How nice the reflections are? Even my
The
reflections there.
table. Yeah.
See
Yeah.
that my hand? You can see them there reflected in the scene, and jump as well. Okay, so yeah, okay. Try to do this with this. Come
Okay.
on.
We have some questions and some friends also asking nice questions. But okay, one question is this question, you know, it was coming, is an idea about pricing. So maybe roughly we talk about the, yeah, it's really scalable, let's say, starting, as we said, from maybe a basic system, and we can grow. But how can you say about that, or maybe
Okay.
people can get in touch with Brainstorm afterwards? Yeah.
Yes, and but I can say that we've seen that there are different configurations. We've seen that we have this the UE4 configuration where you do not need a tracking device. You can only have the camera itself. I believe you can have a really reasonable price to have the whole set, including lights and including everything. Very nice price. Please contact us. You can see that in this screen. I'm going to put it over there, and I'm going to change to this camera here. Oh, sorry, wrong preset. And now I'm drawing myself mad. I wanted to go here. Okay. In this configuration, the one we saw here. Okay. This, if instead of having UE 150 with tracking device, that is a UE4, you need one light version of Infinity because you don't need tracking. And this is really reasonable price, believe me. Please contact us. This is our webpage, brainstorm3d.com, and I'm sure that our sales department will be very happy to talk to you. Contact at brainstorm3d.com.
Let's try to answer some more questions before we say goodbye.
Okay.
So, Terry, one question is, what do you think if a person is required for graphics design? So, a person in charge of graphics, do you think it's a good idea?
Uh, yes. As you can see nowadays, the everything that is happening is created by graphic designers. So this was created in, I believe, in Cinema 4D. One of our colleagues in Brainstorm designed this set, and you can directly import it as an FBX file into the system and work with it. Now, you can also create using any other means. I mean, you could use Adobe tools or Photoshop or however you want to control this. This will be valid. There's not a problem for that. And yes, obviously, you will need a different skills right now. Your background is no longer hard set. Now, if you are using Unreal, and there are many graphic designers nowadays related with game engine, and if we want to use Unreal Engine, we can also have Unreal Engine behind as part of the background. Now, that you can use any graphic designers, create the set within Unreal, import it here, within Unreal again and play it out. We will connect directly to Unreal Engine. As a matter of fact, in here, in any of our cross points, there's an option here that says use game engine. And I just need to activate this to connect directly to whatever configuration you want to have in the plugins, like the Unreal Engine here. These are my connections for Panasonic, and these are with Unreal. And there are lots of options in here, believe me.
Mhm. So, what about 4K? Is is I know that you support 4K, but
Yeah, we, we,
what can you tell about that?
We are agnostic regarding the resolution. We don't mind. I mean, the software will provide any resolution you want. So let me get this one here. Okay, and we can in. I think didn't like this. Well, we can have any resolution, even custom resolution. So imagine you want to feed that long video wall that we have over there. Imagine there's a signal that we want to feed in there. We could create a custom project with that resolution, like 3000, 1000, or whatever resolution you want to have in there. And then once you have that resolution available there, you can render that through an HDMI output or however you want to send it. We also support many different video boards, like, I don't know, Blackmagic, Asia boards, and many others. And once we have those inputs come in and the format supported by those video boards, we can introduce them here. We have lots of different formats, not just the regular 4K, as I said, customs and many other. Okay.
Okay. Um, I have some nice questions. People like my Jack from
I knew
IBC.
I knew it.
What is the about the space that we need? What are the space requirements? I mean, as we have shown, we are using a very small space at home. I think this is you explain a bit about the cropping thing. So I guess that we can use from a very small space until very big if needed for some reason. But basically, we just need to cover ourselves in green. And from here, you can crop and then the virtual background can be
Correct.
as big as we want, right?
Correct. Let me show you if you like that part over there. Okay. So I'm going to select my camera. I'm going to go to my preset number 1. This is my real camera. Okay. And right now we're seeing this frame in here. Okay. We have in here what we call the 3D matte. So in miscellaneous, we have the 3D matte that is this crop in here. Okay. So I want to recall this preset. Now, as you can see, you're not seeing my house. But if I open up my right pane in here, you will see that I'm exposing that part of the scene. Okay, this is cropping from the right hand side. This is cropping from the left. Something happened. Oh, too much cropping. Hold on, let me bring it back to position. And it should be somewhere around there. So I can control the height and all the parameters here. So it's like a window, a 3D window that I'm controlling. So the space I need, this is, I mean, 1.5 meters, 2 meters, no more than that. And 2 spotlights right in front of me, that's all I need. Even though I can be anywhere. As we saw before, we can take the camera anywhere in 3D space.
Yeah. So there's a question about there is some noise in your laptop.
Yes.
I think it's I think it's a difficult reflection that we have.
It happens to be an HP. Now, obviously, on the when I lost the connection, I had to reboot the computer, and I don't have the exact chroma key value. This is a highly reflective surface, and if I do not expose it, you can see it's really, really highly reflective. And if I expose it towards the green, it will be reflecting the green. So yes, I have to play a little bit of it. And now probably the RS is not working well. But yes, I mean, I would need to tweak a little bit with it and play it. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. As we said, we are. I mean, we somehow is demonstrate that we can do these kind of things from home, but at the same time, there are some limitations and as at the end, for example, I also have issues with the lighting, so it's difficult to have a proper light at home and so on. It depends on everybody's home, but we do our best. But of course, the purpose today was more to show that. But in a real production, we should maybe spend a bit more time on the lighting and so on, right?
Nevertheless, if you have a dedicated space, it doesn't have to be a big studio. It doesn't have to be a dedicated, like, big scene. I mean, you can have a small studio with cheap, like this Elgato we have behind, or or whatever lighting you have, and really with a really affordable price, you can have a studio at home or a studio in a place where you want to have it in a smaller space and just with the green background, and that's it. I mean, you can be a YouTuber just like we two are right now.
Mhm. And yeah, there is another question. Well, about lights, it's how can we manage the low lights? The thing is, for example, I don't have personally, I don't have a good lighting in across my green wall or my green set. So, but thanks to partly to the masking, I can hide that. So, of course, we need as good, as a good light as possible. For that, also, for example, that's important. The camera. So it's I am not using the webcam of the PC. I'm using a UE4 from Panasonic, which the sensitivity is quite good, and all of this is improvements that I can make to make the chroma key a bit better. Okay, but of course, I need to also to use some mask to because in the low lights, of course, it's difficult to compensate. So yeah.
Correct.
One question is if there is some support or some connection to YouTube or Facebook as we do in that now for this live event. Maybe you can explain how you are streaming
Okay.
from Infinity to YouTube. What's in the middle?
Okay. Yes. In OBS, well, I basically because in this case I wanted to stream the whole interface. I'm just streaming the displays capture. That is, I'm picking up my second screen. I have two monitors here with me. I'm picking up the second screen. I'm selecting that. But we also have a way to select. Now I'm going to go to my cross point number 3. Yes, here we are. There's a way to display out as here. You can see that is a layer, that is an internal use we have as a window or as a pipe. If I select window in here, I can say that this is an independent render. And this independent render can then be used by OBS. We've already implemented that. So in the window, will directly let me choose as one source Infinity. Okay, so once you have that configured, you will be able to control all the parameters here, and obviously cast just the output, not the interface. Obviously, in this case, it's a special. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, there is a question about what are the upload speeds that we both have at this moment. Um,
I
well,
I have a very bad connection at home. Believe me, I want to
yeah,
change it. Very bad
yeah,
connection.
and I have kidnapped my kids to not to play Fortnite at this hour because that would be also maybe affecting my connection. So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I would say it's just a Skype connection. I think it's quite good. You're using it. Yeah, I'm quite surprised that the quality uh, that you receive is quite good. But yeah, but also it's true that we have to be careful a little bit with Skype. Last days we were doing some tests, and sometimes I think depends on a bit on the bandwidth and upload speeds and so on. Sometimes the resolution goes down suddenly, but now we have found a way. Nothing really special, but just quite normal connection from home. But of course, yeah, being careful with if you have kids, be careful with the gaming.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
There are a customer asking for some references of brainstorm projects. I think we can. I mean, he's asking for some links. I think I can send that information afterwards. No problem. I think.
Okay.
I Kamal, I have your contact, so it's fine. I will. I can send you later, or we can send to anybody that is interested after that. No, no problem at all. Um, and yeah, another question is if we can operate the software from home. Well, we are doing
I'm
already,
doing it. Yes,
right?
you can see me. This is my mouse, and I'm playing with the cross points. Okay, I can swap the different cross point. There we go. Or I can control it from the panel, just like we saw before. So I can say from the panel. Okay, let me show you the panel. Oh, okay, I cannot. I'm not in mixing mode, but basically, is that I mean pressing a button in the panel will change the shot, or even while it's flying, I can bring it back and put it in the red position. So
Mhm.
yes, you can control it obviously
Yeah,
with the panel
what we
or with the mixer.
yeah what we are also, I mean, today, because of course you are a speaker in this show, but also what it's a requirement from many customers is having the cameras in one place and the control and the engine in another. So this is also we are also demonstrating today that you could be receiving the cameras at home and doing the production. Today you are also part of the show, so it's you are doing a bit of everything. But of course, yeah, I mean, we are showing that this remote production, um, it's possible, and of course we can also. I think we can still have a bit more quality from the cameras with a proper connection and so on.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
but uh, but yeah, I mean, for that, I think we need to be allowed to go to the street more often than just 1 hour per day. Um, okay. So what else? There are some questions, yeah, about the integration with robotics, like the KST Cambot system or the tuning system. Both systems are also can be provided by Panasonic. And yeah, in that sense, I can say that the systems support the free protocol, right? So from your point of view, it's another tracking device that you can
Correct.
integrate, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah, we support almost all of the protocols available in the market. So yes, that's not a big deal. That's not going to be a problem.
And how about the latency of this system?
It depends. It depends on if you have Unreal Engine configured and if we have buffers internals as well. So it depends on the configuration. We will be talking between 4 to 7 frames.
Mhm. Well, the main issue is the latency that we have
Well, other than the 20 seconds
between
in YouTube.
yeah the 20 seconds on YouTube. So the that latency is the latency that I have is not helping me. So that's maybe something that probably is the most critical for me. That the audio the audio is okay, but what I see, of course, is not what is really happening. So this is maybe it requires some skills that I am developing, but still difficult to manage that. Um, yeah, a few more questions, Terry.
Yes.
And it's like so can we record without graphics for later post-production? So it's something that we can do it like
Yes.
offline.
Yes, that is something we can do. We have internally the ability to take movies with embedded tracking data in them and then play them out as if they were real tracking devices. As a matter of fact, we have one application, which is the media data embedder, that is precisely meant for that. You put together any tracking data, real tracking data, or pre-recorded tracking data, no problem, from a movie. You can extract it out of the movie and then put it together within this application and then play that as if you had a real camera. As simple as that. You only need to connect that camera to your that movie with embedded tracking data, expose it in one of our playlists, play it out, and then it will track as seamlessly without any problem. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, it's possible. Yes.
Yeah. So this is another possibility because, yeah, for example, right now, so one thing is the video from our cameras. The tracking data goes over IP, but we can embed the tracking data sometime later. For example, if for some reason we receive the in different ways, one way the video, one way the tracking data. So thanks to these tools that you have, we can match and we can embed the tracking into the video. So yeah, for
Correctly.
this, for example, to prepare some movements, yeah, this is
Well, there are many
this is
possibilities there. I mean, you can have, imagine that you have a pre-recorded event and you are, I don't know, in a stadium or somewhere and you're recording something with the tracking data. You can bring one Infinity with you, any laptop or whatever. You can record it in there and then take that movie with you and take it to your studio and put your talent in that uh, recorded event, tracked and within the set. So that we call the teletransporter. And of course, you can do it the other way around. You can have a pre-recorded talent in your studio and play it later in a real-time event. Why not? I mean, there's different combinations. Why not?
Mhm. Okay. Um, okay. Let's say one last question. And finish. Which camera is recommended for this setup? Well, of course.
Of
Uh,
course.
what can I say? What can
No,
I say?
I must say that I'm really happy with the quality that is that this UE150 is providing right now. I can really, I'm really happy with it. I'm sorry I didn't have enough time to play with it to just correctly chroma key maybe this on the second connection. But I'm really happy with, as I said, with the quality, the zoom, and especially with this the integration, how easily it is to control the cameras and how smooth the UE150 is moving. That really, really is amazing. Yes, so for this, I mean, I really, really would go with an RP150 and an UE150. Yes.
And I understand that when doing the setup, since this camera is an integrated camera, so let's say all cameras are basically the same, so you can have a file, right, that you can load and you can speed up this setup, right? So
You're
the
You're right. You're right. Tracking is can be really annoying because you have to control the camera, you have to control the tracking device, you have to control the lenses, and those three elements you have to match them together and combine them. So you have to have a lens and distortion corrections and many other parameters. And depending on the camera, the CCU, the size of it, and the many parameters that can make a calibration really complex. The good thing here is that everything is within the same box. I mean, the lens is there, the camera is there, the PT set, the robotics is there, everything is packed in the same file. So we can take a preset, load it into the system in our camera setup mode, and then while we load it, we have distortion and everything already corrected. You might have to tweak a little bit to modify depending on the lens and depending on the model itself, but it won't take long. I mean, it's going to be quite easy to control and have a nice integrated calibration within. Yes.
okay, so so I think there's no more questions. I think it's a good time to say thank you, Thierry. Thank you very much. It has not been easy to do this show. You are a bit of orchestra man, right? You are playing with a lot of things, and on top of that, you have to explain the integration. I think thank you very much. It has been great. Looking forward to continue this collaboration between Panasonic and Brainstorm to add even more functionalities on the current controller, and as I mentioned at the beginning, to bring that also on the new IT platform, Kairos, that we will have soon. and also to expand to the new camera coming in September, the UE100. So giving more options to our customers for any AR VR application. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Jaume. It's been a pleasure as usual, and thank you for inviting us to this show. And I must say, I'm really proud of the integration and really happy. And I thank you, domo arigato, Panasonic Japan, for yes, I must say it. I might say it, Hiroshi-san. Please it's been a beautiful work together, and we are really happy with the development and the collaboration and how easy and fast everything has been. So yes, I must say thank you so much, Panasonic, for let us be here and to develop such a nice toy to play with. Thank you. Arigato.
So thank you very much, everybody, for watching, for the patience during the network when the network went down.
Sorry for
Sorry
that.
about that. And thank you, and see you soon in another shows, webinars, everything that we are preparing during these days. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye bye. See you soon.